Good evening and welcome to Coffee Talk Live, number 380. Getting close to 400. 7 p.m. Sunday. This is the 19th, the day that they shut TikTok down. Probably temporarily. Hello, KP Heathen. It is a nice, cool day, and I got really good news today. Tomorrow we are off for Martin Luther King's birthday celebration. They have Martin Luther King Day, and I will not have to be at work. But it has been announced because of the pending really bad weather for the next 2 days. After that, I do not have to go to work. My school will be out. So I am blessed with a 5-day weekend. Hooray! Yes, I'm in a good mood. I did a video today of buying Spaces box. Pre-retirement days. Hello, thank you for coming, and I'm drinking Folgers coffee with French vanilla creamer. It's hard to have coffee talk without coffee. How are you doing pre-retirement? So, 3 in the house, 2 in the house. Guess somebody snuck out. And 5 likes. And very good coffee, 3 in the house. Elsa Morico. Thank you, Elsa. Welcome to my house. Thank you for your support. Been a while since I've seen you here. So a lot going on. So I got the box video done, uploaded as a premiere at 3 o'clock today. I encourage you, if you have not had a chance to see it, go over and look at it. Leave a like and a supportive comment. Utah Mike. Hello, Utah Mike. And I just got through doing my Coffee Talk News number 3, which will be released tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. as a premiere. And then I expect to go on at 7 p.m. live. The Coffee Talk News segment is less than 5 minutes. I try to do less than 5 minutes for my Coffee Talk News. It's segment number 3. I talk about the confirmation hearings that are going on. I talk about the fact that they temporarily shut down TikTok. President Trump did say he was going to put it back up for 90 days. And hopefully they could get some sort of deal for the sale. And then I talked about the LA fires. And the situation with LA fires is really bad. Really bad. So many poor people out of houses. So many people trying to use water hoses, which are not fire hoses. Water hoses trying to protect their property and getting 2nd and 3rd degree burns. A lot of older people. A number of people are dead, and there are other people missing. So that number will probably go up. Very high winds. And very poor planning. Joseph Moore. Welcome, Joseph Moore. Thank you for coming. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. The mayor So she was in Africa, I think in Kenya, if I'm not mistaken. They were having an inauguration of a leader over there, and she was over there for that. And then she gets a notification that there are these real bad fires, and she needed to come home to cover her butt with the press. And when she shows up, they start asking her questions, and it's like she's got to stare with her mouth open. And she didn't have anything prepared. She didn't know what to say. She didn't, she just basically just stood there with wide eyes with her mouth open. Now, -6. God bless you. That's when you go to relieve yourself and it comes out ice cubes. Oh, Lord, before it hits the ground, it's ice cubes. That's not good. Oh, Lord. I'm sorry. I'm having fun. So you start wondering, well, how is it that this happens? Well, every one of the current members of the Los Angeles City Council are Democrats. They're all a bunch of liberals. This DEI woke liberal business. And when you look at the state as a whole, they have 52 congressional seats. 52 congressional seats. 9 of them, if I'm not mistaken, are held by Republicans. "52 congressional seats." You know, 5 years ago, Trump was telling them, hey, you're going to have problems. You are going to have problems. And they didn't listen to him. Gavin Newsom did not listen to him. It's a bad situation. They're estimating the damages at between $175 and $250 billion. $10,000 structures. 10,000 structures. Hello, Melinda Elliott. How are you doing? Thank you for coming. Thumb number 6. Thank you. I'm showing 7, but thank you for thumb number 6. So, and I'm drinking Folgers coffee. What was the commercial? Handpicked by Juan Valdez. I like to say good to the last drop, but that's Maxwell House. But I'm drinking Folgers coffee. But it is good to the last drop. I think that's my 4th cup today. 4th cup. Ara and Elos Vogue, thank you for coming. Please leave a like to support the channel. It will be greatly appreciated. $20K in structures. Okay, well it keeps it keeps going up. There's like 10 fires going on out there right now, and very high winds. It keeps the damages. It's not stopped. It's not done. They're still suffering. Uncle Al had given me some statistics on it. He said something about 73 acres. I'm looking at some other notes that say 30,000 acres. 650 acres in a square mile. Or is it 640? Is 640 or 650 acres in a square mile? So we're talking several square miles destroyed. The Pacific Palisades, which is very, very old, Very old liberal money. Very old liberal money. Malibu. You hear about Malibu. They're having some damages from fires. It isn't good. It isn't good. President Trump is planning on touring out there probably next week. Little Lone Prepper, welcome, Little Lone Prepper. So, you know, people are hearing about this, and they're making runs on milk, panic buying, milk and bread. The sheeple are panicking. Milk and bread, you know, and other items which you should already have. You should not be in a situation where you have to panic. You should be prepared. Now, if I have to, I'll mix up my own milk, because I got lots and lots of freeze-dried milk. I have skin peeling. I had for whatever reason, I got my cuticle messed up on that finger, and it looked like hell a little less than a month ago. Well, I got this one messed up now. I don't know how I did it, but it's peeling and not looking too good. But in a couple of weeks, it'll be back to normal. It happens periodically. Just, I don't know. Thank you for like number 9. I appreciate it. Mom of 4 boys. Hello, Rachel. Yes, please hit the like button. It'll be greatly appreciated. So, we are experiencing winter. And winter, you know, the further south you go, the less effects of winter you're going to have. A lot of the people that older retired people, they move about. Summertime, they're up in the northern latitudes where it's cooler, higher elevations. Wintertime, they're in the lower latitudes where it's warmer. They're in South Texas. They're in South Florida. They're Southern California. They go to places where they escape either the heat or they escape the extreme cold. People moving around. Yeah, that happens. Yep. You need to soak it in hot water with Epsom salt. With dish soap. I think I'll take the Epsom salt. Oh, Lord. When I was a kid, I had somebody smash I guess it was a rather portly woman, smash my big toe unintentionally with her heels or whatever. Oh, I had to go to a podiatrist, and he had to slice my cuticle, and it was very painful, and it was like, probably for a period of a month, 6 weeks. It was just absolute hell until I recovered. Not good. That's where you need steel-toed shoes. But anyway, so Myra with Byron Space is going to receive a box from me. I got the video uploaded. I released it as a premiere today at 3 o'clock. It's got 20 some odd views. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, go over, give it a watch, and leave a like and support a comment. Remember, I do 100 subscriber giveaways. Every 100 subscribers, I have been doing a giveaway. When I get to 1900, I will be doing a 1900 subscriber giveaway. And the qualifications to be in my drawing is please leave me a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 videos I will have released when I hit 1900. Now, I've released several videos recently. So if something happens and overnight I hit 1900, I'm going with those last five videos. However, I'm not near 1900 right now. I'm sitting at 1812. Before the purge, I was sitting at 1840. And then for whatever reason, over a period of about a little less than 10 days, I got hit 3 times where I went down to 1795. So whatever the cause of that, I've had different people tell me different things. Thankfully, I'm growing again, slowly. And at some point, I will hit a 1900. And when I hit 1900, there will be a 1900 subscriber giveaway. So if you'd like to be in the 1900 subscriber giveaway drawing, and actually, this last drawing, there was about only like 14 or 15 people that qualified that were in my hat. Lady Dark Gaming was the winner. And she got a really nice box. If you'd like to see what she got, look at the video. If you'd like to see what buying space Myra is going to receive, look at the video. I pretty much, what I put in my initial box and what I put in my giveaway box, the big difference between my initial box and my giveaway box, just my goodie box that I give out to people, is that normally with my initial giveaway box, I will put in a first aid kit, a nice first aid kit in addition to the other stuff I give out. My normal just goodie box giveaway kit, I usually put in a couple of different camp stoves with fuel for them, some matches, different sauces that I like, coffees, beverage powders that I like, some water purification tablets, which are, for preparedness. And you can see what I put in, just look at my last few giveaway boxes. And, I have people give me stuff and I send stuff back to them. It's like, exchange of gifts. Way down yonder where the green grass grows, a grasshopper stepped on an elephant's toes. The elephant said, with tears in his eyes, why don't you pick on somebody your own size? Yep. 9 watching and 11 likes. Anybody else sneak in when I wasn't looking? If you did, make another comment. So we are right at 20 minutes into the live stream, showing 10 likes. 11 likes? Okay, you're showing 11? Okay, doke, I'll take your word for it. Sounds better. So the inauguration's tomorrow. It'll be inside in the tundra. The last inauguration that they had inside when they had really bad weather was Reagan's second term in January of 85. So Trump's inauguration will be inside the tundra tomorrow. They are already in D.C. and they were having a fireworks display. I was watching some of the celebrations. They had the village people singing YMCA and different people supporting the president. Elon Musk was there with his son X. The Doge, one half of the Doge. And they're celebrating. The Democrats are looking pretty sad. They are very depressed. And they keep wanting to talk about the 2020 election. They're questioning people when they're doing those confirmation hearings, and their questions are all about the 2020 election. Did Biden win? Well, it was quite unfortunate that he was in office for those 4 years, because he did a lot to hurt the country. And now Trump's going to have to go back and do a lot of cleanup. Clean up an aisle Biden. They don't necessarily see it that way, but believe me, it's clean up an aisle Biden. And it will be safer inside, yes. They're going to have the National Guard there. I was listening to some short news tubes about something about they had an MOU of use of force. What were the rules that they would use force, in an emergency? And there was some sort of disagreement between some of the departments who said, well, if they can't get the right use of force rules, that they're just going to not participate. So they were saying that they were going to be shorthanded, possibly because of the lack of 4 or 5 of the neighboring departments that were going to send 25, 30 officers apiece, or deputies, whatever you want to call them. Just a lot going on. There would be a lot going on. Listening to all of the talk about Greenland, listening to the talk about the Panama Canal. What it comes down to is the need for security. And they're trying to, they need to secure areas. They were talking about this. It doesn't have anything to do with Trump. Harry Truman tried to buy Greenland back 70 years ago. This is not the first time this has come up. It's come up before. They were wanting to buy Iceland. I'm not hearing any talk about Iceland, but they were wanting to buy Iceland at that time. He offered to buy Greenland and Iceland, and got turned down. So now they're talking about Greenland, and remember, when they're talking about Greenland, they're talking about a very large place with very little population. So when they start talking about the Prime Minister of Greenland, they start talking about the Parliament of Greenland, it's like the mayor and city council of a city that has less than 60,000 people. Now they're spread out. There's a couple of places where they're concentrated, but they're spread out. All along the rim, they're spread out. Our big military base up there, big Northern Air Command base, where they have the radars and and such. That's up to the north, and I watched a video about how they built that. They went in like with 100 ships and 10,000 people and supplies, and they built that base in like 3 months. And I mean to tell you, they built a base. It had all sorts of buildings to accommodate a lot of people. They built hangars. They built, for planes. I mean, they built a major base up there. Well, yeah, he's got to look to his safety. But the other thing is, I know they hate Trump, but I guarantee you, if they get Trump, his VP will be more of an SOB than he is. He's a nice old guy. His VP, ex-military, he'll be an SOB. He would be an SOB, especially if you kill his boss. The Democrats don't know what sort of a hornet's nest it would be if somebody manages to take out Trump. Kayla Boo, how's it going, Kayla Boo? Thank you for coming. Please leave a like to support the channel. So then the other thing, they're talking about is they're talking about the Panama Canal. Originally, when we built the canal, they got it built in 1914. They worked on it. 5,000 people lost their lives in the construction of it. The canal zone was basically the canal and 5 miles of territory on each side of it. So the canal zone was a strip 10 miles wide, which was sovereign U.S. territory. And when they gave it back in 99, there were certain assurances. What was in the treaty? There were certain assurances. It would be secure. It would not be threatened by any foreign power. The Chinese are all up in there right now. Lots of thousands of Chinese up in there. And they have acquired a port on either side of the canal zone. The Pacific side and the Atlantic side. And that's a big security threat, because they haven't done anything right now, but what if we get into it with them over there in Asia? I mean, they could certainly jam us up by shutting down doing something to shut down the canal. I mean, sink a ship in the canal, some of the locks, mess up one of the locks, you shut down the traffic. And they ain't gonna go. That's not gonna go. What they're charging us, 75% of the shipping that comes through there related to us. The Chinese have a lot of shipping that comes through there, but nope. No. I'm pretty sure that's going to get taken care of. And Greenland's pretty much, I believe, is probably going to be a done deal. It's going to take a little while, and they're going to buy it. Well, one thing is, just offer each citizen, like the way we do with Alaska. Everybody gets a check up there once a year. Everybody gets a check. They whatever they have money left over, they send money to the citizens. I think it's one of the few places where they do that. Where they're running that they have more money coming in than like Texas has more money coming in. So we got like reserve funds, and that's how they're spending. That's how they're building the wall, and that's all the money that they're spending on the National Guard and all the Department of Public Safety, and all what they're doing to build the wall. They're building the wall in several areas down along the Texas border. They got construction going on, and so offer to give each citizen money. I guarantee there's a lot of people that would look at very favorably. They're already saying that that in April, when they have their election, that they're going to talk about independence from Denmark. So if Denmark is smart, they're going to want to sell it to us before that time, so that they get something out of it. If not, they may not get anything. We just deal with the Greenlanders. It'll get done. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah. Well, he has had people negotiating, and he's had people talking to him for the last year and a half. But Trump got involved, and Trump basically did the same thing that Reagan did. He said, "Listen, when I take office, if there's still hostages, there's hell to pay." And he told him that. He said, if you haven't freed the hostages by the time I come into office, and that's tomorrow, then all hell's going to break loose. And I don't doubt it. For one thing, he can basically turn the other. He can turn the other direction and just say, Israel, have at it, because Biden has been trying to twist Israel's arm behind its back to keep them from basically going in, just giving the place an enema. What all they've done? Oh, they could do 2 or 3 times as much as what they did. I mean, if you look at aerial views of Gaza, a lot of Gaza looks like after the fires. They just bombed the place. They just bombed the place. and they could do a lot worse. So I believe they let loose 3 hostages. You don't know how many hostages are still alive. They talk about they talk about they know what they took, and then ever so often they find bones. You know, somebody dies. Do you think their body is going to, if you don't embalm them, do you think there's going to be anything but bones left a year later? You know, they go and they find bones and they do DNA testing. Yeah, they do need to. Well, I don't know that it will be an invasion of Panama. I don't know that it'll be an invasion of Panama. Um, but we have the ability to go in and secure the place. And I think they really basically need to, because I think they basically abrogate the treaty and basically say, no, it's in everybody's best interest for us to take back the canal zone. It's in everybody's best interest for us to take back the canal zone. And then that's just like Cuba. 1959, Baptista fell. Fidel Castro, in his communist support and the Soviet support, he took over Cuba. And they basically made it into a communist paradise. I'm joking about the paradise part. They're losing a lot of people. People are immigrating. People are leaving. Young people are leaving. They have roving blackouts because their power grid is 60, 70 years old. They haven't done anything to their grid. They don't have fuel. They don't have fuel for it. They were getting fuel from Russia, and then they're getting fuel from Venezuela. And Venezuela is not giving them near enough fuel now because Venezuela is losing, they're communist, socialist communist, and they're not running their stuff, and they run off the people that was helping them. So they're not getting as much fuel out, and they're suffering, and they don't have food. They're in a bad way. They're in a real bad way. And at some point, what's left of the communists will basically give up the ghost, and then we'll be back in there. And we're already in Guantanamo Bay, and they're crying about Guantanamo Bay. We basically had an agreement to pay for it, and they wouldn't accept the money. That's their way of, disputing the fact that we're in Guantanamo Bay. And we have really done a lot to, we put a lot into Guantanamo Bay. It's a very well run. The people that are there, they've got a lot better standard of living. They've got power. They've got running water. And Guantanamo Bay is a pretty good sized area on the south east side of Cuba. So I don't know. The thing is, it's like 90 miles off the coast of the United States, and we really should be looking to our rim area. That's just like Haiti. Look at how bad Haiti is. They're threatening to go in and destabilize Dominican Republic, which is the other part of the island, which is really well run. So there are other countries in the area, nations that are sending police and sending small contingents of troops to try to deal with, Haiti. So there's a lot going on, and we don't necessarily have to send in troops and risk our troops. Let the other little nations that seem to be running fairly well in the Caribbean, let them go in and try to deal with Haiti. Now, we do need to deport a bunch of Haitians. And and we're gonna have to repopulate some areas because of all the animals, the dogs, the cats, the ducks, the geese that they were eating. You know, and then the media saying, "Well, that's not proven." It's not proven. And you got all these people crying about like all the animals that they're seeing, and their kids are seeing, these, what they're doing. Oh, it's not proven. Please. Well, yeah. Yeah, it is sad. Children suffer because of the adults. Poor decisions. I look, I'm an educator, and I have over 30 years in. And I look at the changes since when I started to the way things are now. Um, you look at dysfunctional kids, meet the parents. Where do you think they got it from? To a large extent, single parent moms, grandparents, uh, not that many family units, or you have uh, family units where you have, it's like the Brady Bunch, um, a dad with kids and a mom with kids, and they get together to try to, you know, your new nuclear family. Not a good situation. Not a good situation at all. 7 in the house, 11 likes. Yeah, the leader of that gang in Haiti, his nickname is Barbecue. Um, they do some of that Santeria stuff, or some of that black voodoo stuff. They're cannibaling. They're being cannibals, and they're raping the women. They're raping the men. Not a good deal at all. Not a good deal at all. So when Trump takes office, they're talking about the day after he takes office, they're going to start doing big raids. They're going to go in, start getting them, and they're going to have to house them until they can deport them. In any country that does not take their people back, he's going to tariff them. He's going to slap a big tariff on them. But he says they're leaving, and if he has to put them in Mexico, he's going to put them in Mexico. And Mexico had better help us, or Mexico's going to have hell to pay. Canada's going to have hell to pay. They better stop the drugs. They better stop the illegals coming over. He's already said that. Something else that if I was president I would do is I would declare the cartels as terrorist organizations, and that way he can start sending the special operators down there. If we're going to fight a war, that's where we need to fight a war. We basically need to go in and give Mexico an enema, because they're doing so much to hurt us. They say 75,000, 80,000, 100,000 of our people die due to fentanyl overdoses. Just thousands and thousands of people every year die from fentanyl overdoses. That one dose of fentanyl will kill them. So and I know that people have lost family, and I'm being cruel when I say it, but you get these people who are dysfunctional, who are based a burden on society, and they kill themselves. I mean, in some ways, that's a blessing. It's a blessing to the rest of us. I mean, I know that might be considered a cruel statement, but I mean, the truth of the matter is, yeah, you feel for them, but I mean, look at what it's costing us. Just look at it. Buying space. How are you doing, buying space? Good to see you in here. Did you watch your video? What video? I'm sorry. The box. The box you're going to get. I did your box. And you should get it. I'll be mailing it out probably Thursday or Friday this coming week because the place is going to be frozen up and everything's not going to be, school's going to be canceled for Tuesday and Wednesday, and tomorrow's a holiday, so I don't think the post office is open. So it'll be Thursday or Friday, depending on, with my luck, they'll have a staff meeting. They'll say, well, we didn't have a staff meeting yesterday because we weren't there, so we're going to have a staff meeting on Thursday. In which case, I won't be able to do it because it won't get out until after the post office closes. It closes at 5. So maybe this next Friday before I get your box mailed out. But you will be getting a box sometimes in the next 10 days or 2 years or whatever. Please remember to leave a like and comment. It is greatly appreciated. My shorts. Good Lord Almighty. The last few shorts I've released, last 3 shorts I've released, very, very few views. Basically, people here watching me, the ones that constantly come to me, 20, 25 people, those are the views. I don't know what it is with YouTube not putting it, the algorithm is not putting it out, and I'm not getting the views for the last. So it's like, okay, I'll release some more, and then something will hit, and then I'll get like 400 or 500 views on a short. But I mean, why aren't I consistently getting those views? I do not understand. I do not understand. I truly do not understand. Can he, and I have people who know a lot more about YouTube than I do that will tell me they have their theories about what's happening. I don't know. I truly do not know. I'm aggravated, and I'm confused about that. So, tomorrow at 6 o'clock, Coffee Talk or Taco Talk, whatever you want to call it, news number 3 will be released as a premiere. It's under 5 minutes. I talk about what's going on. I mean, I don't talk about everything going on because it'd take a lot longer than 4.5 minutes to do it. But I try to hit the my take on the biggies, and we'll see what happens. I'm interested to seeing what happens with the TikTok. People are going crazy. Like 180 million people in the United States have TikTok. I mean, there are people I work with, school administrators, like little kids that do TikTok. I don't do that crap. So, like I don't do Facebook. I don't do Instagram. I have a YouTube channel. I don't do that stuff. And I don't know. Just people just lose their minds over that crap. Really. No offense to anybody who's into TikTok. The communists, the CCP, they truly are, in my opinion, the ones we have to worry about. Do we need to worry about the Russians? Well, Putin wants to be the great world power, and he's a regional pain in the butt. He really is. He is costing his people a lot. He's killing a lot of Ukrainians. He's killing a lot of Russians. If you think he could come into NATO and take on NATO, stop smoking whatever you're smoking. Yes, he could drop some nukes, in which case it's like tit for tat, and nobody would be happy. But don't think that he could invade NATO, at least successfully. The Polish would just run over. Poland's got a large tank corps, and Poland, the Polish hate the Russians. Poland would deal with Putin as far as, if he tried to come in there with armor. And how's that working with them in Ukraine? All of their best equipment is junk now. They're using 60-year-old tanks, which they pulled out of mothballs. Mike Crusher, how are you doing, Mike? Did you release anything that I can watch? I haven't been checking the notices, but I'll have to go over and check to see if you released anything. Mike Crusher Reviews, my guy for rations, freeze-dried. He comes up with he's great at reviewing. If you are not subscribed, please go over and subscribe. I think he recently didn't you hit around 500 recently? I think he's up around 500, or a little over 500 views, subscribers, if I'm not mistaken. Remote is replacing TikTok. Red nose. Okay, I'm happy with YouTube and Facebook. Well, I know that there are people who do Facebook basically to communicate with family. They post stuff up on Facebook, and they basically use it to communicate with their family and relatives and keep track of, that kind of stuff. And I don't really begrudge them that. I don't care for Zuckerberg. I don't care for all of the little, don't say anything conservative because they'll stick you. I don't care for that. And even though he's trying to back off of that because he sees the writing on the wall that, Trump basically told him, hey, if I find out you did something other than cheat in that 2020, because he's not going to let that go. He's really going to find out exactly what happened with the 2020 election. And there's going to be a lot of people probably going to pay for that, because I truly do believe that was a put-up job. And there was a lot of evidence to that effect that I knew that they weren't going to do anything because they didn't want to start a civil war. They did not want to start a civil war, so they let a bunch of stuff go. That's just like, the deal with Pennsylvania, with all the laws that were broken. I put my hand on the Bible and say that Trump won Pennsylvania without a doubt, because if they didn't cheat and count a lot of votes that they had no business counting, it wouldn't have been like, oh, he lost by 10,000 votes. No. That night, he was ahead. He was way ahead. And then the next morning, they found all these extra votes, which they shouldn't have found. And, and days later, they're finding votes, trying to, well, did we get to the point where we can say, so-and-so won? 10 watching, 13 likes. But I figured that TikTok being shut down would help YouTube. Maybe YouTube would start making a little bit more money, and then putting out a little bit more money to those creators, which they cut way back on what they give the creators. Way back on what they give the creators. Which is true. Yeah, and they talk about artificial intelligence. Yeah, I hear you, Uncle Al. I hate AI too. I talk about to people all the time. You got people who they have a high school education, and then they're a hell of a lot better with technology than I am, and I've got 2 graduate degrees. And then I point out the fact that I had both of my graduate degrees before the internet came out. The internet came out in 95, and it was in 95 that I got my second graduate degree. So the internet's been around for about 30 years. So if you're a younger person, you grew up with the internet. If you're me and my generation, nope. Nope. But I mean, I get by. I mean, I do what I need to do. I mean, I use what I have to use for my job, um, and I get by. But and some of it's like relearning what you used to use, like Excel, like doing spreadsheets and such. Yeah, back in the days, I used to do spreadsheets or PowerPoint or um, now they got all this stuff. They got the cloud and OneDrive and all this crap. Where you put up stuff and you have to be able to get to it. The thing that gets me is all these damn passwords. Everything's passworded, and security is always wanting to upgrade passwords. They're always wanting to renew passwords, change passwords. I mean, I have to keep all this stuff written down because I can't remember all the damn passwords. You know, all the stuff about we got to change this, got to change that. You know, and I can't keep track of it. I can't keep track of it. Truly. Just I don't know what to tell you. I truly don't. So we'll have the inauguration tomorrow. Biden will be a unpleasant memory. I think they'll basically forget about Biden. They're talking about, well, who leads the Democratic Party? Well, I guess right now it's Kamala Harris. She's got like a 10%. They talk about who's leading the Democratic Party. I guess for right now, they look to Kamala Harris. They really don't have a go-to person. They don't have any talent. It breaks my heart that they're freaking out over TikTok. I've been telling people at work, TikTok, and I've been telling people I talk to over at HEB or Walmart or wherever, TikTok's going away. The only way TikTok will be saved, whenever they get around to it, is the CCP has to give up control of it. They have to sell it. Dave O'Leary, Shark Tank, he's offering to buy it. I've heard Musk has talked about buying it. Different corporations are talking about buying it. A lot of, MSNBC is in trouble. They want to separate MSNBC. CNN's in trouble. I've heard Musk talking about buying MSNBC. I've heard him talk about buying CNN. You get somebody in their right mind purchasing it. They'll give the place an enema. Get rid of all the woke liberals. I look to them doing a pretty good job of that with Doge. They're going to be telling these people, you got to come into work. And then they're going to be wanting to ship them off to other offices away from Washington, D.C. And they'll let a lot of them go. I look to having the size of some of these organizations. And they're going to get rid of some of these departments. Like they talk about getting rid of the Department of Education. Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. Get rid of them. Give the FBI and the State Department, the Justice Department a good enema. Get rid of all the trash, all the damn woke liberals. I look forward to that. The other thing is, YouTube may buy TikTok. Well, YouTube created the short. as several years ago, to basically counter TikTok. Those 15-second TikToks. That's where that 1 minute short came in. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. It will. I will be watching as things progress. Be interested to see what happens. They keep talking about protests. I don't know that there will be any major protests. I don't think they'll handle the way they've done before, like when they had the George Floyd protest. They handled them with kid gloves. They didn't prosecute them. They did all sorts of damage, and they allowed it. And I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. It will be interesting to see what Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk do with Doge, saving money, cutting spending. They have to spend money on other stuff, infrastructure. They need to be spending money on power, water, like desalination along the coasts. The power grid, protecting the power grid. It'll be interesting seeing what happens over the next few years. I hope to be around to see it. And you know, China's got everybody pissed off at them. They don't. All around, everybody around them's pissed off at them. And you can't fight everybody. It's like Germany. World War II. The reason Germany lost is they picked too many fights. Nobody was going to beat Germany in a one-front war. You know, if Germany had taken out England before they went after Russia, and they were basically fighting on one front, oh, trust me, Russia would have went down. I mean, in World War I, Germany was fighting a two-front war, and Russia went down and surrendered. And then they moved everything over to the Western Front, and that was, to me, a big betrayal in that they surrendered, you know. Germany should not have surrendered at the end of World War I. If Germany, and you know, and then when they did sue for peace, if they'd been treated better, you wouldn't have had a World War II. But France basically raped Germany in the peace settlement. They basically broke them, made them pay for everything, and that really pissed the Germans off, concerning the fact that when the Germany supposedly surrendered, they were fighting in France. They were fighting in French soil. They were fighting in Belgium. They weren't fighting in German soil. They were fighting, you know, they were fighting in France. You know. Hello, Howie, food, forest, permaculture. I don't see that happening, Uncle Al. I don't think we're going to invade China. Well, I mean, look at Japan. The Chinese have got the Japanese pissed off. Now you got the Chinese with aircraft carriers. You got the Japanese with aircraft carriers. Better than the Chinese aircraft carriers. And Japan's pissed off. Now, Japan went in and ate the Chinese for lunch in the 30s, World War II. Chinese do not want to get everybody pissed off. They got the Koreans pissed off. They've got the Japanese pissed off. They've got the Filipinos. We're back in Subic Bay. Clark Air Base. They got the Vietnamese pissed off. They got the Indians pissed off. I mean, not good. Maybe Taiwan will invade China. I don't know. But they're pissed off. Everybody's pissed off at the Chinese. You know. And if we basically just shut down the imports of food products, they'd be starving in a few months. They don't have the food reserves. They don't have the fuel reserves. You know. It's the leader. Like, you know, it's the Russian leader, the Chinese leader, the North Korean leader. It's the leaders that we have issues with. It's not the people. It's the leadership. Those are the ones that we have issues with. So, 9 in the house, 14 likes. I look forward to tomorrow. 6 p.m. you will have my premiere of Coffee Talk number 3. About 4.5 minutes. 7 p.m. you will have my live stream. I look forward to seeing what happens. I'm going to be off most of the week. Tomorrow is Martin Luther King Day, so we don't have, it's a holiday. Because of the weather and the possibility of snow and how cold it's going to be, the school district has said it's not going to have school Tuesday or Wednesday, so I probably will not go back to work till Thursday. I've got 3 more days off. I'm going to enjoy that. And I will try to give back as much as I can. I have been leaving likes and comments on your videos and your shorts, watching some live streams. There's so many of you, it's hard for me to spread it around, but I'm trying. When you get up in the morning, thank God for the day. Good night, Uncle Al. I take my medication. I say the Lord's Prayer, contemplate what I'm going to do for the day. And I appreciate you all. And we'll be back, hopefully, Lord willing, tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. for another edition of Coffee Talk. And 6 p.m. there will be that premiere on Coffee Talk News. Thank you, and God bless. Bye-bye.